Blog Talk Radio.
I've been seeing visions of where I'm going, what you have in store for me. Seems like a long time, visions been in my mind, yet I hold on to not what I see, but what you promised me. Ooh, I've been dreaming, and sometimes it's frightening, things that you've shown me, not sure why you chose me. Seems like a long time, visions been in my mind, yet I hold on to not what I see, but what you promised me. So I gotta keep believing and pray without ceasing. People may not understand, no matter what the world might say to me or do. I'm waiting on you, oh Lord, I'm waiting on you. I am believing my season is coming, for I know what you told me. I said on your word boldly. I don't know how, I don't know when, but I trust you, Lord, and I intend to walk in faith and wait and see. I run on to see what the end's gonna be, and so I gotta keep believing and pray without ceasing. And people may not understand, no matter what the world might say to me or do. I'm waiting on you.
You're listening live to On The Move Unscripted with your host, Patricia M. Goins and Mr. Stout on www.blogtalkradio.com/Patricia Goins. Call in now. We're live at 516-387-1247.
What's going on? You have tuned in to another episode of On The Move Unscripted with Patricia M. Goins
and Mr. Stout. What it do?
I want to play that Michelle Young song again. Waiting on you. Oh my God! I'm so here. Waiting. Oh, I love that song. You know, we had her on the show. Remember?
Yes.
Back in 2020.
Yeah, and I also seen her do something for the holidays too with her and her husband. I did see that, like they come out of Detroit too, right? So, or at least in Michigan.
I don't know if it was Detroit.
I thought it was Michigan.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, like it was from that area,
okay.
Like somewhere in Michigan. But they had some new things going on for the holidays. That's the last thing I've seen something, but some new material coming out there. So we're gonna look into that.
You've got to check out Michelle Young. She's gonna beat me up. It's Michelle Young. Michelle. Am I saying right? Michelle Young. MICHON and then YOUNG. And that song we just played is Waiting on You. Oh my God. I can put that on replay and listen to it like 3 times straight because it's the words for me. Like I have to listen to the message. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Her voice is beautiful. The music is the bomb, but the words, come on now, the lyrics.
Really? That's what it's all about.
So how was your weekend?
The weekend was great. The week was we only like in the halfway on like what we call it, hump day on Wednesday. But
I don't know what
the
this
weekend
day was. Hump day, crazy day, everything going out of whack day.
March 1st. Gonna call it that.
Not April Fool's, so I don't understand why everything was going crazy. Like everything, nothing was working right.
It's been Today's been a little bit of frenzy. Trying to get things together with my phone. That's like the office right there for a lot of people, and like trying to get back to the office.
Listen to me. You gotta listen to the woman. That's why God gives you a woman. Woman.
Yes, we do listen to you.
No, not what the phone situation did. But we he's going through what happens when men do not listen to the woman.
It's not even funny.
I'm sorry. We're going to have a good show today.
Yes, we are.
I told you, Callie is calling our name.
LA is in the place to be.
Oh, my gosh. I got so many people reaching out to me from LA. It's like crazy. And the author that we have on tonight is from LA, right?
Yes. In the house. Terrall E. Tillman is in the building with us.
E. Tillman. And I think he's having a line. Oh, my gosh. See, he wasn't playing. He did not come play no games. It was like 15 phones.
So we
got, wait, I got a bigger evening.
The lines are blowing up.
I hope I choose the right line. We gonna pray this one.
So I make sure it's the right number that's calling in.
Mr. Tillman?
Yes.
Yay!
We got him.
You got this. You got my board on lock, so I didn't know which one of these numbers. I was praying I picked the right one. How you doing today?
I am blessed. How are you guys doing?
Feeling good.
Yes.
Can you guys hear me good?
Yes, sir. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you guys loud and clear. And it's Terrell, not Terrell, so it's Terrell. It just got the A on there, you know what I mean? It's Terrell. It's Terrell.
You gotta say that before. See, that's the part that makes us unscripted. Cause we're like Terrell. Which one's right? Say it.
Trying to be phonetically correct. Pardon me.
That's what's up. I'm so happy to get an opportunity to speak with you. Like we received your book, but I'm like, he was not coming to play no games.
There's a lot going on right
Yes, you broke it down. Like if you don't understand the formula of success by the time you get done with this book, I don't know what it is. I don't know what you need. I don't know.
This is going to be it's a lot to really get into, and also like to really like give people a little bit of synopsis of like where it comes from, and then like how do we get to this, this what we want to call is it a novel, or what would you consider? Like
it seemed like it's almost like a workbook type instructional. Well, not workbook. I don't know.
I guess you can let us know what it is.
You're right. But before he does that, we got to take him down the Yellow Brick Road. He doesn't skip the Yellow Brick Road just because he's from the West Coast. So we like to take all of our guests down the Yellow Brick Road and ask them a little bit about themselves and at what point did you know you wanted to write? Let's start there.
Well, I've been into theater and plays and stuff and singing and dancing and sports since I was young, and I was always a writer. So, you know, I was signed to Ruthless before I went to prison in 1991, and I've always been a writer. I'm a poet, so I write poetry as well. So it's just something that was just in my blood and a gift that the Creator gave me to bless the world with. And then when I was inside, I went to Mount Marty College and I got my creative writer's certification as well through the college. So writing has just always been something that's been in my blood, and, you know, just expression.
So when you started working on this book, were you incarcerated at the time, or did the book come after?
I was incarcerated my second federal bid when I did this book in 2014. I was in Edgefield, South Carolina. Yes.
Wow. Okay. And I always like to find out, do you remember when the thought first came to you? Like, did it come as a dream, or was it just like, I mean, how did the concept come to you? Was you eating chicken one day and just like, you know what, I know the in this mug?
Well, the concept came in before I went back in prison the second time. I was actually writing some juvenile curriculum for the kids out here in society that was going to juvenile hall, you know, and I was writing some curriculum from them, because I had been going up to the juvenile halls and speaking to the kids, and I was doing gang intervention and community intervention. So when I got back in prison the second time, I was seeing some of my friends and homies that I was incarcerated with and knew from the street. So they was there for like 20-something years, and it just hit me like, it was like a kind of epiphany that hit me like, these guys don't know what the hell they finna go out to the world and encounter. So once I got past my self-pity, kicking myself in the butt, you know, from being back in prison the second time, after I was off paper and doing okay, you know, like I said, God has inspired me to write this book as a manuscript to let people know that was coming out what the barriers is going to be, what the challenges is going to be, and how to do it healthy, how to do it in a positive way, because there's so many different components that go into reentry, the reentry transition, and the so-called reentry experts, they don't really have a clue, you know, and they never been in prison or got out of jail, so they just kind of going from a book standpoint and second and third-hand information. So I just seen the need for it as I was looking at a lot of those guys who've been in jail 20 years, 30 years. They didn't have a clue what they was going to go out to the world and encounter. So God inspired me to write this. He gave me the ability to write it. I wrote it. I made like 6 or 7 copies while I was in the feds. And every institution I went to, I would let different people read it, you know, and you know, get a feel for it. And until I came out, and since I've been home since 2019, it's been, you know, I've been carrying it around since 2014. And when I came home, I just had to get myself situated, get a foundation under my feet, get my finances right so that I could do it on my own. Because a lot of these publishers, they pimp, and I wasn't finna get pimped.
Yeah.
I know that's right.
Oh man, this is
so
much to dig into.
I want to take. I think we should kind of like bounce back and forth and let the callers ask the questions and all that kind of stuff. But before we get to your line, I'm telling you, I'm looking at the line. I'm like, listen, y'all be patient. We coming. So I don't want to make you wait until the very end of the show to give like how they can purchase the book and your you know, your contact information, because you know you just never know. It's good to get it out in the beginning, I think, so people can write it down because they got to go pick up the kid from the babysitter and stuff like. You know what people's like. So tell us the title of your book and where they can get a copy and how they can contact you, like the social media.
Okay, the name of my book is Formula for Success, ReEntry -030, and you can either go on Amazon Books. It's there. Just tap it in all the way in, because they do have another Formula for Success, so make sure you put the ReEntry -030 on it. Or you can contact me on any one of my social media platforms, Instagram, FFS_reentry, 030. I'm on TikTok, same thing, FFS, ReEntry 030. And I'm also on Facebook, Terrall Gino Tillman. I'm on LinkedIn, Terrall Gino Tillman. And you can also hit me direct on my phone, 213-866-8156. And you can get a direct copy from me, an autographed copy, at half price. So if you get it from me, you'll get an autograph, and you'll get it at half price for what you would pay on Amazon without an autograph.
That's what's up, right? That's what's up. And we do appreciate you sending us that autograph copy.
Yes, we do got cards. And I've been
my
checking out some chapters, and I'm gonna get there. But let me go over here.
All right, we're gonna open up the lines and everything.
I'm unscripted. Walk over to the
On The Move Unscripted with Patricia M, Goins and Mr. Stout. We got Terrall Tillman with us right here. Formula for Success. We got some people on the line.
Yeah, okay. So your number has. Your area code has 951 in it.
We got.
Tell us your name, where you're calling from.
They're listening in?
Huh?
They're just listening in?
Maybe I should say a different one. So we'll come back to you, call.
All right, call it. Guys,
don't be shy. Y'all on the line.
Don't be shy, right. Yeah, talk.
Don't be shy.
Good.
You got 345 in your number?
They just listening in.
Y'all could go to the let me stop. That's unscripted. Don't say that, Patricia.
Well, thanks for listening, and all that. But yeah.
Go to the website though, Patricia, blogtalkradio.com. Patricia Goins if you don't want to talk. All right, you have 687 in your number.
687. Are you there with us?
Hello? I hear you in the background. Oh my God!
All right, so
if you guys called in, represent Terrall E. Tillman, y'all need to step up and ask a question because unscripted ain't got time to be playing with people. You know what I'm saying? If you just want to listen in, just say I'm just listening in because we ain't got time to be waiting and all of that stuff. So if you got a question, please ask. Please speak up. If not, just say, I'm just here to listen so the show can go on. Because, it's a blessing to be on this platform, and I don't want to waste anybody's time.
I love that right there, brother.
We ain't tripping. I'm just going to hang them up.
We're good. So we can definitely.
I'll give them one more opportunity. Because
what we got here?
Maybe when you grab some popcorn. I don't know.
We did.
Okay. So this right here, 975. There's a whole bunch of y'all on here.
I'm here. I'm 975. I'm 975. I'm 975.
What's going on, Mama Citra? Where you calling from?
Hi. I'm from Los Angeles, and my name is Gloria, and I actually met him when he was working at his job, and I'm glad that he hit me up to let me know that he was doing this. I have a question. So, have you noticed that a lot of people coming out of prison need these steps in order to turn their lives around?
Yes, they do.
Okay, and if for like, say for instance, I have my own business, my nonprofit I started, right? Remember I talked to you about that. Using your steps, would it benefit me at all? Is there a way I can apply it to what I'm already doing?
Well, what are you already doing?
Yes.
You want to tell us?
I have my own I have a nonprofit I established, and after talking to him, it gave me more zeal to pursue it. In my endeavors, where it works with men coming out of different restraints, like prison, alcoholic, or drug addiction, or homelessness, or whatever trauma that they faced. And I was so inspired when he was telling me about different stuff to do. I started jumping on different things, like, getting my business plan organized and just what have you. Even though it's a little slow for me, I just wanted to make sure that these steps are something I can actually incorporate into what I'm doing to help the men that I want to target become more successful at turning over that new leaf.
I'm going to tell you straight like this, Gloria, and thank you for calling in. This book will definitely help those men, whether they come out of prison, whether they coming out of drug addiction, whether they coming from overseas in the war. whether they've never been to prison before. This book is there to help people get life. It's life lessons learned in here. And it's also information in there that will help you to continue to grow and learn and educate yourself. And look at yourself. It's like building from an introspective of yourself. Knowing yourself, building yourself up, understanding your triggers, your weak points, your strengths, and building on it. And yes, I do also do consulting, so I can help you get your LLC going. I mean, help you with your nonprofit in that type of way. So, just hit me on the line. You got my number already, so you can hit me and we can chop it on that. But it does help anybody coming out of prison. And there's not steps, it's a formula. And everybody has their own formula to success. You know what I mean? So everybody does things different. But all the components in this book, you can take something from it and you can learn it. And I stand by my product. So if you buy this book and you don't learn nothing, I'll refund your money back 100%.
Gotcha. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for calling. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. So we got Formula for Success is the name of the book, the ReEntry 0-030 with Terrall Tillman. Terrall Tillman, make sure I get that right. Bro, I see the things that you're talking about right there for the information that a lot of incarcerated people, but you also stated that people who have never been incarcerated. What are some of those things that you're saying, like from some of the topics or the table of the contents that you guys are speaking about too as well?
Yeah, I was looking at so there's a couple that caught my interest. Chapter 2, Patience. That's really what inspired me to play Nishan Young's song at the beginning of the show, because the patience,
right.
When you're going through transitions of any type, you got to have patience. You be wanting to get to the end
right,
real quick, but that may not be
the satisfaction. It won't be more satisfactory if you don't go through it the right way. Like, have the patience for that, right?
You got to have the patience for it. You got to get through it. It's like everything that we go through is for a purpose and a reason. You know what I'm saying? Even for Mr. Tillman, like, even though you going to jail and learning, because that was part of your learning curve, your learning growth spurt and period. But you had to learn those things in order to reach back to save somebody else.
And a lot of people, because a lot of people need this information. Exactly what he's talking about right here.
So let me open up.
Okay, I guess we got more people that's calling us up over here as well. On the Move Unscripted. That's what it is, man.
Caller, you have 337 in your number. What's your name and where you calling from?
Another one.
Okay, so this is what I think.
Well, they want to hear what the good brother was talking about. And want to listening too. Yeah, going through it. They want to do it right. They just want to hear what's going on.
Yeah, they
just want to hear if they want.
And that's okay, because you don't know where everybody is mentally, emotionally, spiritually. You don't know what people are going through. So sometimes they just want to listen to hear, because for some reason this topic caught them. Enough for them to call.
And you know what?
So y'all can.
And you know what? Mr. Stout and Miss Goins, it's like this. You guys got the book, right? You guys been chiming in on it, and like you were just saying, patience. I wrote the book and I kind of put the table of contents kind of in order of the things that I know that's very valuable, and some things over. Everything in the book overlaps. But the reason why I put confidence first and patience second is because you got to have confidence in yourself to know that you can get out in the world, or that you can be successful whether you go to prison or not, just in life, Right. And there's so many people out here that's tore down, from whether it be the trauma they've been through, the upbringing they've been through, the trials and tribulations they've been through. They don't have the confidence to actually believe in themselves that they could be a millionaire, that they could be a business owner, that they could have their own apartment, they can have their own house, they can have their own car. So confidence is one of the things that I tell people all the time. You got to have confidence, because if you ain't got confidence in yourself, why somebody else going to have confidence? I can't instill confidence in you. And like in the beginning of the book, I have a mantra or saying for each one of the titles, and confidence is something that it comes from within. You know, nobody can give you confidence. You know, and like I tell a lot of the people that come home, if you're not confident that you can make it out here in the world, you might as well take your ass back to prison because you're going to waste some people's time. You know what I mean? And then also in patience, you know, patience is not a given. It's a practice. And every day in life, we have a chance to practice patience, whether it's driving, whether it's dealing with coworkers, whether it's dealing with your kids, whether it's dealing with your siblings, whether it's dealing with everything in society, you're going to have some patience in a day. You're going to have a test. So patience is a thing that you have to build up and practice in order to get it, you know.
That's a big one.
Some things going to make your patience fast and some things slow. And you got to understand it's a process. You know, instant gratification will have your ass locked up or have you dead, you know what I'm saying, or doing something that you don't want to do. So you got to have the patience and allow the process of some things to evolve, and in that way you'll definitely be able to get where you want to be, the bigger picture, the long run, not the short term, not the quick fix, but the long term, you know, and that's one of the things that's very vital, I mean, throughout our community. And, you know, let alone people coming out of prison because, you know, people say, I want to hit the ground running, but you ain't got your ID. You ain't got your social. How you going to get a job if you ain't got neither one of them things? You only got a roof over your head. Where you sleeping at? You got a car to get to where you going, or you got to call somebody to take you somewhere? So you got to take steps, you know, and you got to be patient about it, you know, because when you come out of prison, you on somebody else's time because you ain't got all of that stuff. And even if you do got a driver's license and a car and all that, you've been gone 5, 10, 20 years, you still got to find your way out here. You got to see what the hell going on because you don't know. So you got to have patience.
So this makes me think about, I work in a treatment center for people who are dealing with drug addictions. And sometimes these patients are put in by court order. They're like kind of like what's your rapper that they just sent him to treatment with black what's his name? The rapper Black. What's his name?
Kodak Black.
Kodak Black. They said that he got tested positive with some drugs, and that he was court ordered to go to a treatment center. That's the kind of work that I do. Yeah. So sometimes they come in there and they still have that. Like this one guy, I'll never forget him. He didn't have the patience to complete the program. He just wanted, I'd rather be back in jail. Hold on, wait a minute, slow down. You'd rather be locked down behind bars, behind cells where you can't roam rather than being in a treatment center? The drug got you like that you'd rather be locked down than to be able to roam back and forth your own room, eat that, and you can go from one program to the next one and you get a little bit more freedom. That's better than I couldn't understand what he was talking about, you know? So I think first they got to get their mind. Even when they're in prison, they got to get their mind out of prison.
Like institutionalized. But then I'm reading a lot of things that he has as part of the introduction, but it all like kind of seems that it all intertwines with mental health, right? Yeah. Like you need to have that in order to to fix that part, in order to to be able to go through society. You know, how way things are going, you know, in modern times, whatever, 20 years, like somebody, I can't fathom somebody, like, you know, what it's like for somebody to be in it 20 years to come home and, like, how the world changed to you, from your perspective. Like, what's your perspective from that? He said 91, right? He said 91, you know what I mean? So now, you know,
people who've been in for 30, 40 years, say they went in when they was 18 back in 1970. And they had to do a whole long bid, and they didn't get out until 1990 or 2000s or whatever. Whenever the cell phone, that whole block, it's like a whole world. Like, wait a minute, hold on.
Yeah, it starts with the mentality and the mindset, and you know the thing about it is like being on drugs and chemically impaired is a totally different animal. You know what I mean? And you know, because you work in a treatment center, I work at a treatment center. I deal with that aspect of people, and I see it in the community. You know, a lot of these people, they out here on these pills and on these drugs. Coming out of prison, be careful when you're dealing with these people in society, because a lot of them is walking around blacked out zombies. They high off drugs, and they're impulsive, and they don't even know what the hell they're doing. You know, and some people don't understand, but if you ever know anybody that was a blackout drunk. They get drunk and you would think they functioning and all of that, but they don't know what they did until they wake up the next morning, you know. But they did all kind of stuff the night before. There are actually a lot of people in society walking around like that. So I warn the people coming out of prison, when you run into these type of people, or people that's hasty and feisty, be careful. You know, be mindful. You're not in prison no more. This person might have a pistol in their pocket, and they are probably chemically impaired. So don't get into no situation with them, no argument or nothing. Just keep it moving if you can. Ignore them, and if you got to get away from them, get away from them, because that could save your life from either doing something to them or them possibly doing something to you. But this is the state of society right now, you know, and it's a sad thing, but you got to be cognizant and aware of what you're around, your surroundings. And that's why in the book I also have a chapter called Surroundings, because you got to know your surroundings. You got to know what it is. And majority of the people that's coming back home from prison, you ain't going to the suburban area where everything is shut off. You're going right back into the frying pan, right back into the ghetto, right back into the hood. So you got to understand the elements that you're dealing with once you get back in society. And this ain't prison no more. Everybody out here ain't trying to better themselves. Everybody out here ain't playing with a full deck. Everybody out here don't abide by the respectfulness that you was probably used to in prison. You know, or you didn't have the reputation in prison that you had, where you had respect and all that. People on the street don't know who the hell you are and don't give a damn, frankly. So you have to keep that in mind. You know what I mean? And like I said, a person might have a blammer right in their front pocket or in their backpack or whatever, and if you rub them the wrong way, they not really thinking rationally, or they might be scared and just gun you down in broad daylight or wherever it's at, because that's the type of climate we're in now in society where people are chemically impaired. And
not only
you know,
that,
that's how
did you hear about the new things that they are putting in fentanyl and cocaine? They're putting horse tranquilizer. They're trying to kill off a whole segment of people. They trying to
Yes, they are. Because the thing about it is this. The people that have been in prison, you know, they done did the mass incarceration and all of that. So, you know, they know we're strong. We're strong as a culture. We're strong. So we're able to do 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years and come back on the street. And even though we might not have all of our wits, we still got some type of capability to be like, no, I'm good. I done did this bit. Now I got to get out here and live. So what they're doing with the young generation is putting this stuff in these drugs, because they know that a lot of the younger generation, they're with the trying aspect of drugs. You know, so we can't lock them up. We could just kill them right off dead. You know what I mean? They ain't listening to us anyway. They're not living to our accord anyway. The people that's coming home from prison, we didn't suck the life out of them. We didn't got 20, 30 years out of them. So we didn't got a whole bunch of money from them, and we still got money coming from them, whether we let them out of a year or whatever. But they still got to get back ingratiated in society. And if they don't, guess what? We got their bed waiting for them again. That number ain't never going away. You know, so either they going to get it together and stay free on the street, or they going to get out here and they going to get killed, turn into a dope fiend, turn into a homeless person, or come back to prison. Those are the choices. And that's why when I wrote this book is simple. You can read it. It's easy to digest. I broke everything down in stanzas, and to where if you can't really read, or you get deterred by seeing a big block and you don't want to read all of that, you can read a few lines, a few sentences, and be done and go to the next one. It's an encouraging to read type of, the fonts are your reading. You don't in the book and go look up a word, not for one word in the book. So I wrote it to help people have a better understanding and comprehension of life and the things that you're going to encounter in life, whether you've been in prison or not. So that's the beauty of the book.
I was thinking about even, you know, people who work at home, moms and stuff, or even people who have been unemployed for a long time. And
There's different chapters in there.
You got to have confidence You gotta have confidence to try to start your own business first and foremost. If you ain't got the confidence, like I'm gonna do it, and the patience to ride it through the ups and the downs, it's gonna have to be frustrating.
That's what I'm like. You get yourself. I suggest when you do get this book, that you will highlight it and go through it and read the parts and see the things that you want to focus on. And then, to start off at. So it's a lot of information that's in this book right here that could definitely help you stabilize your situation, during your travels. Like, so it's definitely deep, and I recommend it for sure. Formula for success.
I love also chapter 11, right? Because chapter 11 is associates, and it made me think about associates in a lot of different ways. Like, a lot of times when people, if they've been in jail, or even if they're trying to get off of drugs, get off of, go through a treatment center and get clean. Mm-hmm. If you go back to the very same people who was doing what you was doing before you went in, you're likely to get back into that same atmosphere, same environment, and unless you're strong-willed or whatever, you may end up even getting back into what they're doing or being at the wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong people. You know what I'm saying? And you don't even know what's going on. You just rolling with JoJo and them. Don't even know JoJo and them about to go rob a store. You just ride. You thought they was going to drop you off the bus stop.
Or they got a pistol or some dope in the car, and the police pull them over. They like, ain't mine. And they run everybody's names and see you fresh out of jail. Guess what? Everybody going to go to jail, but you're going to get a violation off the top. And then you don't know if Yo-Yo or Kimmy Kim and John going to tell on you and say it was yours because they say, oh, you've been in jail alone.
Right. That about the associate thing is definitely.
Right.
I saw this the video. It was a pastor on YouTube. I forget her name, but she was talking about. She said she was telling a story, and she said to her little nephew, he was playing with some kids or whatever, and he was like, "Oh, are those your friends?" And he was like, "No, those are not my friends. Those are just my classmates. They're just basically like they're just my associates." She's like, "In this season, you got to know who is your true friends and who are just associates."
Yeah, you got to know the difference. Because nowadays you could be sleeping with the enemy. A person could be literally sleeping with you, living with you, being around you every day, and want to see you falter or waiting on your demise. That's how wicked and crazy it is out here in society. And you just have to have the understanding and the ability to decipher people's energy, because you can easily be fooled if you're not really woke or conscious of what the hell is going on. And this is just what it is, and I've never thought I would see some of the things I've seen. And that's why before I came out, I wrote this book with the passion to enlighten people. And it's nothing personal in the book towards anybody. This is the way it happened. The book is nonfiction. Everything in that book that I said is true. Nothing is made up. Nothing is made up in that book. There's no data in that book. There's no pictures in that book. It's all for the content. I don't even have a picture of myself on the book because I don't even want a person to know who I am until they go Google me and see who I am. Go check out my background and see what qualifies me to write this book. You know what I mean? Then you'll see, okay, bam, 2 indictments. Oh, this is the time he did. Okay, bam. Now let me see what he's talking about. So it's about the contents of the book. And like you were saying with the associates, I know so many people who have gotten out of jail and go right back because they was with the wrong person. They jumped in the wrong car. I myself have been in some situations like, whoa, wait a minute. Hell no. I got to get the hell up out of here. You know what I'm saying? That's not the place for me. And that's how I actually end up going back the second time. I actually went back the second time and got to do off my indictment. And somebody put me in their indictment, in their investigation. So this is how things happen out here. And the system don't care. The FBI, the ATF, the DEA, the CIA, they don't care about what you done and what you ain't done. It's about numbers. And if they could get you in that system, they can get you to tell you just a revolving door. You just somebody that they're going to use to get more people in jail, get somebody indicted, get them locked up, take your testimony or your statement, and get somebody locked up. So This is the way the system is made. The system is a business, and it is well-oiled machine. It is not failing. So people that say the system is failing, no, it's not. The system is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. Filling jails up.
New age slavery.
Yes.
Basically, you put those bodies in there and you get them to work, and you ain't got to pay them, but whatever they will change, and you can get stuff done, just like slavery, just like picking cotton. You just ain't picking cotton. You behind
it's modern day slavery. It's definitely modern day slavery, and that's a whole other conversation. You know, that's a whole other conversation because they know it's modern day slavery, and they thrive off of it. All of the big conglomerates and manufacturers. You know, they do, you know, the government, they do slave work. They know they can get it done for pennies on the dollar, you know what I'm saying, as opposed to having somebody on the street making $25, $30 to build this mailbag. They're going to pay an inmate 8 cents an hour. You know what I mean? So this is the way society is set up. And until you go to prison or you know somebody that come out of prison that actually works for that, $5 a month, $10 a month, 2 cents an hour, until you see that and understand that, you're going to think it's some BS. You're going to think it's some Hollywood scripted stuff, and you're going to think, oh, that's not true. Those guys are lying. No. Get your ass in prison, and you'll see the real deal. And just because you go to prison don't mean you're going to make it out of prison. That don't mean you're going to make it out of prison the same person. Because everybody that go to prison, I guarantee you they ain't coming out the same person at all. And prison will make some people something that they didn't never think they would be. Trust and believe me. From an ice cold killer to a stone cold dude that's getting it hard up his ass, straight up. So prison is not a place to be playing with, and you know it's not a badge of honor. It's not a place where I'm validated as a man or a woman, and my gangsterism and my I'm made it now. No, you ain't made it. You just got a state or fed number. You made it hard for yourself.
Yeah. All the way up,
You know, I try to, with working in the treatment center and getting a lot of different people, and I know you experience it too, a lot of them, I'm not going to say a lot of them, but some of them come out really feeling broken and really feeling like, like they've been shunned, like the world is looking at them like they're a failure and all that kind of stuff. And I try to lift their spirits because I try to tell them, in spite of your past, you can't do nothing about yesterday. Yesterday is done. And you can't go back and redo nothing unless you done figured out how to create a time machine. It's done. But you can move forward.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You can move forward. And concentrate on the present, on the right now, and be proud of yourself that you're not, that you have made a determination within your spirit that you're about to make a change. That ain't something that's easy for a lot of people to even get to that point to make that decision to go to a treatment center or to say, I'm going to do right and I'm going to get out of here and I'm going to do my best or whatever your situation is. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it takes a lot to make that first step, so be proud of yourself. Like, I try to lift their spirits because I hate to see them come in and they just feel defeated before they even get started. No. You're actually at the beginning of a whole new season of your life.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
I do. I know you probably do too. Do you ever do like the group meetings at your job or at any facilities? Because
actually,
that would be an awesome thing.
Yeah. But the thing about it is right now I'm actually I've done CBT training and all that, and right now I'm actually about to start doing reentry classes, reentry groups with for all of the institutions that Los Angeles CATA has, and I'm also open to doing other groups on my own, reentry groups on my own, because I have curriculum as well, and all my stuff is my own property. It's intellectual property, so I can do it anywhere I want to, and I can do it however I want to. I have a job, but I also have my 2 businesses, 4 businesses, because I got clothing lines and I have my own reentry company. I have my own, consulting and all of that stuff. But it is definitely something that I am doing that's different and bringing to the table because it's not. They don't even have it in society. There's not a reentry program or class to where, like, you got a anger management, like you got a parenting, like you got a domestic violence class. So that's something that I'm going to bring to the nation and be the first to do it out here in the world, and that's one of my goals, and that's one of my purposes for having my reentry curriculum, and that's what I'm pushing right now. That's what I'm striving for. I'm striving to be the national reentry man, to where I can go in any state, any college, anywhere, any institution, and bring my program and teach some people how to facilitate it and have it sustainable and to help people. That's what it's about. That's where I'm at with my life. You know, so
that's some kingdom stuff. That's some king. That's a king. I hear a king. I hear a leader. I hear someone who has made a decision that they were going to lead the pack and not follow the pack. Like, that's what's up, and that's what's needed, because they need to see men who have gone through it, right? But you have turned your life around. You didn't make excuses. And you didn't run, you know, you might have had to, it might have taken you a little time to figure it out, but once you did, you're like, you know what, now that I've gone through my class, you know, I've graduated from my life class, now let me go and teach somebody else. Let me go save another life, because this younger generation, they are lost in the freaking sauce. And if more like yourself don't stand up and help lead the pack, I don't know what to say. Because we're talking about these young ones are supposed to be our presidents and our corporation owners and our teachers and all that kind of stuff. But they all, some of them strung out on drugs, in jail, don't know what, where, how, when.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you what I see.
When you want to be brothers, you don't believe the children of the future anymore. I don't know where they are.
We need the help.
You know, the thing about it, and what's so ironic about it is that I see in the Gen X's, it's either they right or left. They either dope fiends and out here turned up, or they're intellectual and they're revolutionists, and they're going to be the people who are going to lead us to the mountaintop. That's what I see. And then, so those kids, I try to get to either one of them, because I know it took me a while to get to the point where I'm at in life, to where I didn't want to be the destruction, and I wanted to bring the solutions. So I know how to deal with the at-risk kids, the kids that's banging, the kids that's on drugs, and how to talk to them. Now, whether I get through is one thing, but I know how to plant the seeds, and I know how to communicate to them and be relatable to them, so that they'll listen to me just to hear me, you know, because hearing and listening are two different things, you know, and then applying the knowledge that you hear and you just listen to is a whole nother ball game. But then you have the ones that's not on drugs, the ones that's intellectual out here, the ones that's entrepreneurs out here, the ones that got businesses out here, the ones that run in the pack and they about something. You can't tell them just anything, because them kids are go on Google and fact check your ass and be like, oh, hell no, dude, you telling me some crap. You know what I'm saying? Or they're gonna be like, this fool crazy. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta. It's a distinct left or right with these kids out here now. So I see that, and you know, a lot of them don't be thinking I'm as old as I am unless I grow my hair and let the gray show. But they be thinking I'm a 30-something-year-old dude. You know, that's cool. But the thing about it is that I can relate to either or. And then the people coming out of prison, male or female, LGBT or whatever, I can relate to them as well. So I'm somebody that can bridge the gap and bring the information that everybody can utilize. And that everybody can hear something that I'm saying and get something out of it.
And you know what I've found since I've been working at the treatment center? People may think, oh, this is, you know, the thing with African Americans, the drug situation is bad. Let me tell you something. Them drugs do not give a darn where you grew up, what color you are, what race you are, how much money your daddy got. Nope. They all from different races, all around the spectrum. You would know that the president's son is on meth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or it's addicted to fentanyl. Like, you wouldn't even think that because they got all that money. That don't mean nothing. That don't mean nothing.
I was at I went to one of the treatment centers that we have, and lo and behold, a young guy come up to me, oh, what's up, bro? And I knew him, but I had to recall where from. So after I did my tour and, you know, spoke my few words with the people, I told the dude, I was like, man, where I know you from? He's like, I'm such and such son. This dude, I was mentoring him before he even went into prison and then got in the treatment center. So I put him to the side and said, look, man, your daddy loves you. Your daddy is financially secure and will do anything for you, but you got to have to want it, brother. You got to have to want it. Yeah, he might seem a little weird to you. He might seem, out of touch, but he'll break his neck for you, brother. And he got everything you need. Everything you need. Wish I had a daddy like that. Rest in peace to my dad, but I told him, I said, man, your daddy will do whatever you need. He got whatever you want. He was just living in his own apartment. His dad got apartments and property and all that, but he didn't get it. So now that I see him in the treatment center, he see all this other stuff, he like, wow, you know what I'm saying? And he see me again from my old job to my new job. It's like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? So hopefully, that's something that's going to wake this young man up and get himself together to where he can get to doing his music and have some better understanding and build a relationship with his dad. Because his dad, he told me, he's like, man, I can't do nothing with him. And, I had a few heart-to-heart conversations with him, 30 minutes an hour to try to lace his boots. But sometimes people got to go feel it. When they're hard-headed, sometimes you got to go feel it. You got to go through that whole. At
least you planted that seed. So we're gonna take a quick music break. Y'all go get your popcorn, whatever, so we can come back. Because I really want to go over a couple of more chapters. I'm definitely interested in chapter 8, which is the transitional plan. Yeah. But let's go ahead and take a break, y'all.
Let's do that. Formula for success: ReEntry 030 with Terrall Tillman. Turn up On The Move Unscripted with Patricia M.
This man's breastplate is different.
Ill will make a beat down.
Ain't no love in these streets. Ain't no love in these streets. Ain't no love in these streets. Niggas dying in the streets. Stay away from these streets. Cause ain't no love in these streets. There's a whole lot of enemies. Ain't no love in these streets. There's a whole lot of enemies. Ain't no love in these streets. Niggas dying in the streets. Stay away from these streets. Cause ain't no love in these streets. There's a whole lot of enemies. Ain't no love in these streets. There's a whole lot of enemies. Ain't no love in these streets. Niggas dying in these streets. Stay away from these streets. Cause ain't no love in these streets. Straightforward if you think they love you. Everything's above you. Moving silence. Protect your own. Watch the throne. These niggas want it. They hungry. Only safe by your only in the street. Can't trust the homies. Price fight you the man down. They used to be friends now. Watch who you call bro now. Since money speak so loud. The type of shit that move whole crowds. Hard to say who's the hold now. Cause lyric calls they on step now. Won't give you shit when you touch down. Same niggas you held down. Bet your heart full of pain now. Moving through these streets can't let guards down. Look, same niggas you held down. Bet your heart full of pain now. Moving through these streets can't let guards down. Hard to say who's the hold now. Cause lyric calls they on step now. Ain't no love in these streets. Ain't no love in these streets. Ain't no love in these streets. Niggas dying in these streets. Stay away from these streets. Cause ain't no love in these streets. There's a whole lot of enemies. Ain't no love in these streets. There's a whole lot of enemies. Ain't no love in these streets. Niggas dying in these streets. Stay away from these streets. Cause ain't no love in these streets.
Waking up, praying before my day gets started. Every day on the news, hearing bodies getting caught in the ambulance. Seem like the world out for vengeance. Not caring about a life sentence. No jail, understand. No price set to be let out on bail. We as people have failed. I'd rather stay in my own lane. Live for my son and daughter. Instead of watching over my shoulder. In these trenches, ain't no love when you getting it. A bunch of leeches trying to hold you back. Same will stab you in the back. Can't get behind, always prepared. 2 steps ahead of anybody, whether it's family or friend. Don't trust a soul, except yourself. You ain't gon' rap on yourself. Respect you earn, the crown you own. Just tell it how it is and how you feel on every song. Ain't no love in these streets. Let that be a lesson learned while you chillin' by your lonely. Trying blessings that you earn.
Ain't no love in these streets. Ain't no love in these streets. Ain't no love in these streets. Niggas dying in these streets. Stay away from these streets. Cause ain't no love in these streets.
Cause it ain't about where you're from, it's who you know. They know my father seated high up on the throne. If you know him like I know him, then you know. No looking down, that ain't your blessing on the floor. Out of my right mind, into my heart, because that's where he dwell at. I give him this music, but he wants me to sell it. If I put it on SoundCloud, would that be rebelling? Don't worry about the money, it won't be a headache. I promise an honest man deserves an honest wage. You way past the cock and you come of age. My latter days can go a lot of ways. A lot of bills on a lot of pay. Them Tyler Slade during them holidays, so them storefronts up on auto pay. If I'm getting money, is it God's way? If I'm crossing over, sitting sideways, or doing six figures like the L craze, does it really matter if I'm unsaved? That's the pitter patter to an early grade. That's the chitter chatter from a young slave. No need to listen. My honorable mention means nothing to someone not living it. But all is forgiven, he forgave me. I should have bled out in the Red Sea, but it still run. Look at how he raised me. I done lost track counting what he gave me. Probably still feel 40 pushing 80. Still be rooted in the word like a tree limb. Cause in Christ I can't pass, I can eat them. Some to let their souls go to buy freedom. Stole it dirt cheap, can't afford to buy it back. I done seen some mean try to cheat them. Wanna give it all to them, dying on their back. But the funny thing about it, he'll receive them. But his service on earth will be the free ones. I got all my back, now I can go. Packed up all my sins and hit the road. Don't let the donut hit me where the sun don't go. It ain't a problem, I can make it on my own. Cause it ain't about where you're from, it's who you know. They know my father seated high up on the throne. If you know him like I know him, then you know. No looking down, that ain't your blessing on the floor. What's done in the dark, he gon' bring to the light. What he's done in my life, I'ma bring to this mic. Push. So what come out of my mouth gon' live up to the hype. They see us Christian rapping left and they swipe. That's why they souls go at left and they price. They more impressed with living comfortable lives. To that autopsy got them chillin' on nights, but the Lord got me, that's why I'm still in the fight. I believe what I want cause they gave me that right. Let the devil tell it, he gon' say what he like a chain smoker. Boy, I stay with that light, hear that pain over burn, I live with that right. Watch that game changer for the end of the night. Now the stain on me, I'm embedded in Christ. My empire built on the back of integrity. Sit at the head and watch everybody eat, but me love for the business, it come with a heavy fee, but my love for the king come with a guarantee. Somebody pray for me if I'm doing wrong. I'm just throwing all my blessings in the song. I'm just trying to do what David did in Psalms. I've been walking with my father all along. Thirst got me sipping water out of stones. This the greatest love story ever told, about the greatest love man has ever known. This was never meant for me to do alone. The whole team hit the road and brought it home for that homecoming king and that crown of thorns. They ain't know what he say be on. We ain't neither, we just know what team we on. I got all my bags, now I can go. Packed up all my sins and hit the road. Don't let the donut hit me where the sun don't go. It ain't a problem, I can make it on my own. Cause it ain't about where you're from, it's who you know. They know my father seated high up on the throne. If you know him like I know him, then you know. No looking down, that ain't your blessing on the floor.
In the ring, no training, they just told me bob and weave. Look, mama, I'm a king. They threw me in the belly of the beast and said I'd never make it out of the streets. But look, mama, I'm a king. Through all the trials and tribulations, came out clean, smiling like they never see me bleed. Look, mama, I'm a king. Look, mama, I'm a king. Yeah. Higher, higher, higher. Trust me, I am but no one. Should have my testament, reflection of my past and more. My born future, I couldn't see, my thought was past the floor. Stuck in the dark and counted out, yeah, it was sad for sure. Voice said, go and get it, young nigga, what you asking for? I heard the dream was for the niggas that sleep, so stay woke. Most niggas miss the word for most sleeping, they stay broke. They get enough and fight as hard as you can, and it will come. Until it do, give all you got, but when it do, you can't tell. It was a dream that kept me in a dream. Put down the faith and went to work. One thing led to another, course was high and all the loss was worse. When the venom from the snakes, it took the toll, so I could see the hurt. They needed me to fail, but I prevailed, and hell, my demons hurt. Blood spilled, tears dry. Fear came, I watched it leave. I never thought that in a million years they'd be watching me. By now I probably said a million tears, couldn't stop the leak. They dragged me through the mud, look what they doing, they don't stopping me. Higher. Trust me, I am not afraid. So I ain't holding back for no one. Higher. Ain't no need to look away, 'cause I ain't going back for no one. Higher. Trust me, I am not afraid. So I ain't holding back for no one. Higher. Ain't no need to look away, 'cause I ain't going back for no one.
This is your boy, Bad Boy Billy Sly. Whether I'm just chilling in the studio or kissing a leading lady or out on the street promoting our new CD, Kenny G Wall of Bass, no matter how you play it, I'm down with Patricia and Mr. Stout on The Move Unscripted, baby.
What's going on? Yeah, exactly. You are tuning in to the second hour of On The Move Unscripted. Yes. And that was King. I feel like Blog Talk. We need to talk to them. Like, listen, Blog Talk, I know we're unscripted, but stop messing with the quality of the music.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, that was dope. Them songs was dope, man. That song, The Streets, it reminded me of a poem a poem I have called Streets Ain't Got No Love. Oh, man, them songs is dope y'all played. Y'all need to send me them. Let me know who them artists is, because I like that type of music.
So one was Humble Money. The last one, King, was Humble Money. And he actually made this during 2020 when the whole thing was going on with George Floyd. And they came in Columbus actually, rioted. And everybody was Atlanta. Everybody, the whole world was rioting. And then the other one was, what was his name? Snap.
I thought that was they were slapping too. Yeah, it was bizarre. Yeah, we'll definitely get those songs for you guys for sure. Yeah.
So we got two more people that called.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we're gonna find out. Yeah, somebody else was on the line right here. Formula for Success ReEntry. That's 030 Terrall Tillman. This is a great book right here. You guys gonna need this. Well, we're gonna need all this information. We're gonna take this everywhere. We sit here talking behind it. I said Tillman. Yes. Tillman. What'd I say? I said Terrall E. Tillman.
Oh, yes, indeed. It's Terrall E. Tillman.
It's Terrall E. Tillman. 0 in your number? I'm sorry. Caller, you have 680 in your number? Okay.
Look. I love it. It's so funny. Dude, they just want to check everyone listening in. That's good, though. Thanks for listening in.
You look, write down your phone number so when I say them 3 digits, you know, oh, that's me. You got 479 in your number. 479 in your number, caller? Are you brave enough to say something? Hey!
Yes, that's me.
Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
I'm calling from Gardena. My name is Tara.
Hi.
Hey, Tara.
How you doing?
What's up, Tara? What's going down?
Hey, how is everybody?
Yes,
oh, fine.
Good.
Oh, fine. So, do you have a question for Mr. Tillman?
No, actually, I was listening in, but I'm proud of Mr. Tillman because his book is everything. I've been reading it, and I have actually identified with a lot of things that he talked about in the book. So, I just encourage him to keep doing what he's doing because the book is actually knowledge. It's a learning tool, and I'm just grateful that You know, it's somebody out here trying to give back to the community that wants to uplift people like us that have been through adversities in life. And I'm just really proud of them. And I just called to support and listen in.
Thank you so much, Terrall. I appreciate you so much.
I appreciate that. And so I want to ask you, so what, out of the chapters that you've read so far, which one stood out the most to you, and why did it stand out to you like that? Like, what was it that he said that touched you?
Just re-entering into society after doing, you know, going back and forth to prison and being able to acclimate back into life. That has to be difficult. I've never been to prison before. I'm a recovering addict, so I have a re-entry back into the world because I did drugs for a long time, and I had to get back into the world and figure out how to get a job, how to become employable again. So just his teaching about and his story about how he was able to leave alone the lifestyle, come into the world with a whole new mindset, fed himself some new information, gave himself some knowledge. Because what else can you do? When you're in prison? Most guys, and I'm not knocking nobody, I'm just saying most people aren't educated enough that when they go to prison, sometimes their spirits are down and they don't feel like they want to learn or be teachable again after they've made their mistakes and they have to sit still and sit with self. So for me, just the encouragement and just him being willing to come back out here and like face life on a whole nother level, like leave the old stuff behind and just come out here and teach people you could do it again. Like you fall, everybody fall, but everybody get back up. And like a lot of people aren't willing to face those fears of what's, am I employable? Am I going to be able to go back to school? Am I still teachable? Am I willing to learn? It's just a lot of encouraging words that he says in most of his chapters about the willingness to come out here and change and do better. And then want to teach others how to get out here and re-enter into the world and be willing to teach better to themselves and to their families and be here for their children and their families and their friends, their old colleagues, showing them a different way of doing things.
Yeah, those things are definitely.
Their comrades, rather, not but colleagues too. So yeah, like it's just inspiring for me. The whole book, all of it, everything he talks about, how you can come back, you can get your life back if you want it back. Now, if you don't want it back, you can take back what you left. You know what I mean? And come back and start all over again. So for me, that's the motivation I get for him. He motivated me just with the words and the drive that he has on the things that he's doing for his reentry book, for his everything that he does. He's motivating. I started school. I hadn't knew about going back to school, but I didn't have that like in me to like. I had those fears of, dang, can I go to school? Can I take a class? Am I able to sit still and be teachable again? Or, and so just him being encouraging and trying to show people that, hey, you could fall off. You could be an ex-gangbanger. You could be an ex-convict or whatever, but you can come out here and get your life back, and your life will be better than it was before. People don't want to really it's comfortable. People get complacent, and it's just encouraging when somebody turns their whole life around. I knew of him back when he was in the streets, and like to see him do this whole turn and to be willing to give this game to everybody else is just amazing because people either want to hold their game to themselves so they can be on top, so they can shine. He's shining by blessing others. So what more can I say? It's just amazing.
You know what? I appreciate you for even calling in. It shows that you definitely, that first chapter, confidence, because it took confidence for you to, when I said hello, for you to answer, because some of them haven't gotten to that point yet. You know what I'm saying? And they need to get a copy of this book.
Absolutely.
But for
I was preoccupied, but yeah. I was preoccupied. I didn't expect for you to come for me so soon.
You know what else I like about this book? I like that it's big enough that you can write notes to yourself.
Yeah.
Like as you're reading the chapters and the thing that sticks out to you that you feel like, okay, and you know, the Holy Spirit will start ministering to you when you're reading certain things, and you'll be able to, you know, write those little notes for yourself and go back and be like, boom, okay, I'm gonna start right here, or boom, yeah, this is the feeling that I get when I read this part. And yeah, I can see how I can do this and that. But I love how big it is.
Yeah, get a highlighter.
And you can write in between the chapters and stuff. So thank you so much for calling in too. We
definitely appreciate that right there.
Thank you so much, Terrall, for coming.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thanks for having me. God bless.
All right, God bless. On the Move Unscripted with Patricia M. Goins and Mr. Stout. Formula for success. ReEntry 030 to well.
In the
building. That's right. Come get some of that right there.
Okay, caller, you have 403.
You got another caller coming in? All right.
Caller, you have 403 in your number?
Where you calling from?
Okay, they ain't got that book yet. They ain't got chapter 1 yet. Confidence. Okay, so all right, we're gonna keep on going.
We still appreciate you listening in and everything like that. Definitely follow us on blogtalkradio.com. Patricia Goins.
You know what? I want to say this to you, right? Because I know as an author, as someone who has gone through the experience of being in jail and all that kind of stuff, it took a lot for you to be able to not just overcome that, but then reach back and get somebody else. Like, and then you're not just talking about it, you're showing it. You're telling them, I got this business, that business. I done did 2 times. You can't tell me what can't be done because I had to do it. Yeah, you going to have to put a little work in there? Yeah. Is it going to take some patience? Definitely. You're going to have confidence? Oh, yes, without a doubt. You're going to have them coping skills? You got to have them coping skills. You got to watch this around it. But listen, you can do this. And I want to help you do it. Even if I can't talk to you, or you gave me the number. You got classes. You got things that you're doing. Like, they can reach out to you. Like, this is probably the ministry that you were always supposed to do.
I like the one you got on it for love triangles and response and relationships. So those kind of things.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about that. That man that want to get you back in trouble.
How to get you back in the game.
You know, it's like, you know, this is, like I said, it was an epiphany, and it was a gift from the Creator for me to give to the world. It's gonna have a life of its own now. You know, it's copywritten, so it's got 99 years, and then when I'm dead and gone, hopefully the bloodline that I leave it to, they get it copywritten, and it'll be another 99 years. So it's something that I, you know, like I said, that the Creator gave me as a gift to the world. Is one of my purposes. So this is what I'm doing, you know, and, you know, I'm a spiritual brother. You know, I don't follow religion, but at the same time, I respect all the religions and I respect all the texts and all the gospels. But I move through the Spirit and the Creator and the universe, because the laws of the universe is much stronger than the laws of man. And I just try to be obedient to the Creator. And He gave me this. He gave me this as a gift to the world, to write it just like He gave all of them other prophets, you know, the ability to write a book that we follow in the Bible, the Quran, and all that other stuff. So this is just my book to the world to help people try to better themselves and not be on a religious tip with it. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't about it. This book it's a unisex, universal book. It don't matter what religion you are, what's your sexuality, what color you are, how rich you are, how poor you are. You can learn from this book because it's all introspective. So thank you guys for giving me this platform again. I can't say that enough. Right now I'm just doing what I could do and pushing. I'm doing my best and letting the Creator handle the rest. You know, that's one of my mantras. Do your best and the Creator shall handle the rest. So take care of the business and the business will take care of you. So that's what I'm doing.
I am spiritual too, and I personally feel like, you know, some people who have gone through things, like I said, well, of course, right now we're talking about those who are, or maybe in prison, looking at how they can change life when they get out, or those who have recently gotten out, or people who are trying to overcome addictions, or whatever your situation is. I feel like some people may feel like, why I got to have it so hard? Why have I had to have it so hard my whole life? Y'all understand the reason why I did this XYZ is because I went through XYZ when I was young, or I had this kind of family, this kind of parent, this kind of upbringing, all that kind of stuff. What you don't understand man and female, king and queen, is that you're chosen. And he only gives the toughest assignments to the soldiers that he knows can do what he sent them to do. Mm-hmm. So you are not a black sheep. You're not a failure. You're not a, whatever words that you've heard people attach to you because of your past. That is not who you are. The moment you decided to change your life, you began to walk a new path. So, you're kings and queens. Your crown might have been crooked for a little while, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. Straighten that mud back up, lift your head up, and keep on moving forward, and use this book and books like that and sermons and whatever it can to feed your spirit. You got to feed your spirit man. You got to get your spirit man back strong so that you can hold your head up high. You know what I'm saying? So you can have that confidence to move forward. You ain't got to live a street life, You already know what that's like. Insanity is doing the same thing, expecting a different result.
Man, tell them again. Tell them the difference. Tell them the definition of insanity. What it is. Doing the same thing and expecting a different result.
The same mountain in the exact same way, but you're expecting a different result. You're expecting a different path to show up. No, it's not. You're going to do something different. Take the path less traveled. Take the other. You done been down that path a whole bunch of times. You already know what's about that. You're going to give little JoJo. JoJo going to give you something. You're going to ask you, you're going to jump in the car with JoJo. You're going to go.
You can watch that movie. You can direct that movie. You can direct that whole film and put it out there several times.
But what about that other path?
Yeah.
That's waiting on you.
Yeah.
That's a whole new world waiting on you.
The thing about it is this, and this is the thing about it. The future is unknown. The future is already written. It's just unknown to mankind. And the thing about it is that when I was in prison, I actually came up with a whole nother. It's actually a diagnosis, and I'm not gonna display it. I'm not gonna disclose it on radio, but it's a diagnosis. I did like 110 interviews with men that were going home, from the time from people that was maybe 6 months out to people that was actually finna walk out the door right at R&D, and I had like a 15 questionnaire that I would ask them, and everything I've done was verbatim, so I didn't change anything, I didn't edit anything. And the reason why I did that is because the shorter you get into that, when you first go to prison, you can't see the end of the road. You can't see the light, especially if you got 10, 20 years. You can't see that light. You ain't thinking about that light. You're thinking about getting in this jail, handling your business, and whatever come your way, you're going to deal with it. But when you get shorter to the house, when that 5 years, that 3 years, that 2 years, that 1 year come up and it start hitting your body, or you may be numb. There's several symptoms that happen when you get ready to come home. You might start watching more TV. You might hit the track more. You might drink more coffee. You might sleep more. It's so many different levels of anxiety that your body's going to go through, because going back to the world, it's an unknown event, and it's a life-changing event that you can't prevent unless you go back and stab somebody and stay in jail. But other than that, you got a date. Your date is finna come up. You get them clothes, them going home clothes, and you like, oh, I'm finna go home. It's getting real. You got your papers, what halfway house you going to or whatever, and now it's like, oh, people are like, yeah, you finna go home, dog. Send me some pictures of, look out for me, do this, do that, and it's like, man, all that anxiety. You don't know how a person is going to take that. I know some people that have actually went back and stabbed somebody that had to go out before 4 o'clock count. So the mindset is real serious when you're talking about hitting these streets and re-entering into society after you done did 5, 10, 20, 30 years. Because if you've been in jail that long, that's all you know. And even if you got a support system out here, even if you got family out here, it starts in the mind with the self. You know what I mean? So that is very important that people understand. It's all psychological. Reentry is more psychological and mental than it is physical. Yeah, you need money. Yeah, you need support system. But I could say you can have all the money in the world. You can have all the support in the world. If your mind ain't right, you're going to squander all of that stuff. And you're going to, like I said, end up being dead, being a dope thing, being in the wrong place at the wrong time, and go back to jail. So The mindset is where it starts, and that's why I tell people, if you ain't ready, you come to me looking for a job, don't play with my time. Don't play with my resources, because I'm going to send you somewhere, and they say when Terrell sent you, they know you mean business, because I mean business, and my name is good on the streets and the penitentiaries and through the organization. So if you come to me or send somebody to me, make sure they're ready, because I'm going to vet them, and I'm going to tell them straight out, look, don't play with my name, because I have an attachment to my name and a reputation to my name that I'm going to handle my business. So when people ain't ready, I say, you ain't ready. If you ain't ready, don't play with me. Don't play with my time, because there's a lot of people out here that don't know these resources exist that want it. So if you here, get it. Take advantage of it. I tell everybody, it's 1 million programs out here, and it's money that's allocated strictly for reentry people. And a lot of people that's on the street, I can't get that. I ain't been to jail. Well, listen, man, you've been out here playing. So now they got something to give to people that's coming home from prison, and you can't get it. So, but a lot of people don't know where to look. They don't know where to start to look to get these resources. So these things is what's really out here in the world. So, but it starts with the mindset, and that's first and foremost. If you ain't got it in your mind, go ahead.
Does your book? Because I haven't read the whole thing, and we just got it, so and we're really trying to take our time, one chapter at a time, just because of the population that I work with, you know. So, and that's what, and actually this is what I want to get to, was chapter 8 about the transitional plan, and then also do you in the book, do you have different resources and numbers and things? Like I know 211, I think it's 211 in Ohio. It might be some other different numbers. I know the halfway houses have case managers who have a boatload of information. So do the treatment centers. They have a whole boatload of services. They have where you can go. You can start off at a halfway house or a treatment center, and then you can go to another place that's like 30, 60, 90, 100, 180 a year program, and then you can go to another program, and it's even and it helps you re-enter. It probably helps you find jobs, interviewing skills. Like you can take your time. And use the resources when you get back out there, because those resources are there to help you. When I was in a domestic violence shelter, right, I had that experience. And they had the programs, for the women, the counseling sessions that we had to go through, because you got to equip your mind or you'll keep choosing the same type of partner, you know what I'm saying, or going through the same type of thing, just a different phase. So after that, we started going through the programs where they taught us different reentry skills and stuff like that. And then they helped us to apply for, low-income housing or Section 8. And there's so many programs to help you. So you don't got to feel like, oh, God, I do 30 days. Do them 30 days and go on to the next step. You give some of them, they can't make it 5 days and they be ready to quit. Why are you quitting? To do what? To go back to the streets, to get back in trouble?
Like you said,
no.
Anxiety get the best of you right there. Yeah.
So do you talk about that in your book? Like different numbers of resources they can call?
Okay, now this is the thing. This is the thing. When I wrote this book, I wrote it in prison. So I didn't even know these resources existed until I got out, because when I went back to prison in 2012, these resources didn't exist. ReEntry didn't exist as an entity. So none of this stuff existed. So when I got out, God put me in a position to where I actually worked as a peer navigator and all of these resources. So I have a resource list, but I did not put it in the book because this book is going to be global. And, we'll work in L.A., might not be in Ohio, might not be in New York. So I did not include those numbers in the information. And that right there is like, the 211 is the public information for everybody in everybody's city that I know of. You dial 211, that's information. And they're actually trying to cut that out because they don't even want people to get the resources from that. But the thing about it is this. When you come home, or even people that's out here, if you want the resource, if you want to find something, it's a thing called Google. Tell my son all the time. He's sitting right here. You want to know something? Google that shit. Excuse my French, but Google it. It's an answer gonna pop up. You can push in reentry resources or domestic violence resources class. Something gonna pop up, but you gotta want to seek that information. Information ain't gonna fall in your lap. Ain't nobody don't nobody see a sign on your head that I need help. I need these resources. You gotta go look for it. You gotta do your work. Your mind gotta be predicated to wanting to do that, and then that energy that you displaying, that you trying to get it done. Guess what? Doors is gonna start opening. Windows is gonna start opening. Resources is gonna start coming to you. But that's how it works. I have plenty. I have a plethora of resources.
Yeah.
You know another place that people sleep on that they don't know about. So a lot of times when people get out of jail or they're in a low income situation where they got to get Medicaid, right? So now with managed care, the patients right now you can get a case depending on what your health situation is, and even if you don't have a health situation, they have case managers. And these case managers in Aetna and Blue Cross Blue Shield and, Peach State and, all these different Centene Corporation, all of them have case managers. And these case managers, they have a whole database for anything you want. When I used to work in Chicago, right? When I lived in Chicago and I worked for that nonprofit organization, that was my job. My job was giving the Medicaid patients nonprofit, free information from the nonprofit
directory. The directory of everything you need.
Everything. You can call Medicaid office and be like, listen, I need someone to give me some resources about housing or about, a reentry program or whatever it is that you need.
Whatever it is, the information is there.
But they can give you that information and your food banks, you know what I'm saying? Shelters. And people may feel ashamed because maybe after you come out the halfway house, you feeling like, I don't want to go to a shelter. You better take your butt to the shelter because when you go to that shelter, there's a whole bunch of more stuff that they got for you. These programs are set to help you. They got all that money during 2020. They wait on you. They just tell it to the corporations. People will stop spending it. Go get that money.
It's resource driven. It's like you don't want the resources, you're not gonna get them. It's all about wanting it. And like I said, when I went back to prison in 2012, reentry didn't even exist. When I got out the first time in 2002, it wasn't no transitional houses and none of that stuff. You had to go to work. You had to go to the halfway house and you had to go to work. If you didn't go to work, you was going back to jail. Now they have transitional houses. You don't even have to go to. You don't have to go to work. You can go to school. You can go volunteer. But you got to get out there and be productive at doing something. And then now it's like she was saying, they have directories at all of these organizations because all of these organizations are reentry friendly. Why? Because reentry is mental health, reentry is homelessness, and reentry is prison reform. And those three components are the biggest economic pushes in society right now in the community.
And addiction.
And the thing about it is this: people coming home, reentry hits all three of them sectors. Because you come home, unless you got your name on a house or apartment, you're deemed homeless. Anytime you handcuffed, you're deemed mentally handicapped by the United States government. It's in their policy. And like I said, you reentry person. So that's where the money is going to. And then if you got any type of addiction or had an addiction when you went to prison, you qualify for that. So you can go to any one of these drug and alcohol programs or any of that stuff. You qualify. So there's no reason why, unless you're just lazy and don't want it. If you want it, the resources are here for anybody to get. When I came home this time, I didn't know the resources was right down the street. Right down the street from where I was at. I stayed in the halfway house 6 months. I didn't know it was a program down the street to help me. I had to get out of there, and somebody else, to another person that I was dealing with, they had me come to the program. I got in the program. When I went to the orientation, they hired me. They said, we need you to work here. I started working there, worked there 3 years, and I started helping people. I was giving people resources that I hadn't even got. So now I have tapped into the resources myself because I'm a a client of the DOR, Department of Rehabilitation, and through them I have recertified my anger management certification, and I'm going to school right now for drug and alcohol tech. So, and I've plugged up so many other people to get CDLs, drug and alcohol tech, electrician, HVAC, plumbing, nursing, you name it. The resources are out here. The resources are out here. You just got to go find it. Housing and all of that stuff, transitional places. You have to just get out here and want it. You got to want it, you know, and that's the thing about it. So the resources are here, and like I tell people, yes.
Like I think if they see it, if information is there, like if people are seeing it, like you know, because it's not. I don't watch that much TV, but if you see this on television, like or even on social media, where they can say, okay, you did this, that, and the third, but then like it's not something that's actually always out there. As like does it come in your timeline when you see something like that about an ad saying like about reentry? So there's a lot of things that like like the way that we can get it into people's hands, or so they can see it, or so like actually read more about it. I think that's one of the things that when it comes to like what people don't misinformation. You know what I mean? Like,
brother Kenneth. One thing that's really that Patricia probably can attest to. Programs don't do outreach. They don't do outreach at all. A lot of these programs don't have flyers. They don't do outreach. They got an email. Look, they got an email. They got a website, but they're not doing outreach in the community that they really need to serve. So, and they do it for different reasons. I learned they don't want to overflow. They only got so much money, so much they can allocate, so many people they can take care of with the budget. I get all of that. But most of these places don't do outreach. And that's one of the saddest things that I ever seen in my life. How you going to help the people get the resources if they don't even know they exist? So me, myself, this is why I'm very vocal. This is why I'm very active, and I do what I do. And I'm I hate resource hoarders. What is you hoarding resources for? That's one of the things that ticks me off so bad when people say, oh, I got this. Well, who you telling it to? Who you showing it to? Who you helping with that?
Yeah.
Share the resources. Because guess what? Even if you can't use them, let somebody else have the choice and opportunity to use it. Exactly. So that's one of the things that's holding us back as a community. You know what I mean? People don't share resources. So it's enough for everybody.
So when I think about Formula for Success, ReEntry 030, what I think is for any of you homeboys, free little Pookie, you need to send little Pookie when he gets this book so he gets his mind ready for when he get out. You know what I'm saying? Like do something. If you got family members in jail, they got time to read. Send them the Formula for Success, ReEntry 030, so that they can start getting their mind ready, so they can start getting mentally prepared, especially for the ones who they're going to be getting out soon. Start getting them ready mentally, emotionally, because like you said, the mind is the battleground. Like that's the first step. You got to conquer that right there. And then for outreach programs, and stuff like that, like treatment centers and different things. This is something for all you nonprofit organizations that you got that you trying to figure out how you gonna do a write-off for next year. Listen, go ahead and buy Formula for Success and go ahead and pass it out to the people that your nonprofit serves, and then just write it off on your taxes at the end of the year. And that's going to be a blessing to that's going to bless your business, and it's also going to be a blessing to whoever you give it to. You know what I'm saying? Whoever's trying to make a re-entry back into the world. And like you said, it's not just for people who have been in jail or whatever. It's for anyone who is trying to re-enter, because there's different reasons. Right. You might have been sick for a long time, and you finally are feeling well enough to get back into the workforce, but you don't even know where to start because maybe, or maybe you were taking care of your family members or something, and you wasn't able to, or you raising your kids, and your man was the one, or your woman was the one making the money, and now you need to get back out there, but there might be that nervousness. Can I do this? All that kind of stuff. So you can use it. College students, when they first get out of college, that's a scary time because you're excited, but then you don't know who's gonna pick, who's gonna hire you, you know, you really want to work in your field, but then you end up having to find a job or something else, and you're trying to deal with that whole thing. You know what I'm saying? This book is a lot of different ways. You know, especially for people who are like the artists. Like, so I have a group called the Let the Music Industry Group on Facebook, right? And there are a lot of artists in there. I understand, especially with the trap rap and the drill rap and all that kind of stuff. They have been in the streets, they have been in jail, and some of them have freshly gotten out. And the first thing they do is say, "I'm gonna make it as a rapper." Hold on, wait a minute. Let's get your stability together first. Let's where you gonna be staying at while you rapping? You know what I'm saying? Like what you gonna be doing? Like how you gonna get the money? This stuff out here costs money still. Your homeboy.
How you gonna get that studio money? You know what I mean?
Especially if you're better than him.
Yeah.
So get your stability together first. Get your mind right.
Gotta have a foundation. You have to have a foundation.
Gotta have the foundation. You have a lot of them to be like, you know what? I'm about to quit my day job because I'm about to go out here and I'm going to make it as a rapper. Okay, you know, but how you going to pay for it? Because there's a lot of stuff to pay for in this whole, you know. And then they go through mental challenges when things don't work out the way they want to. They go through, you know, the depression and the anxiety and the suicidal ideations and the alcohol and all kinds of stuff because you didn't have the confidence and the patience to understand that this is a journey. You didn't do things in order. You know what I'm saying? God is a God of order. So you got to have your life in order first before you can do all the things that he wants you to do. He ain't going to give you a whole bunch of stuff and say, go ahead and do it all. If you fall, that's okay. No, he's going to give you foundation and the wisdom and the knowledge and the structure so that you can be successful with it. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like everybody needs to go out and get a copy of this book, especially if you have children that are in jail. You know what I'm saying? There are a lot of mothers who you still support your baby. This will be a good way to support him so he can start getting his mind right or her mind right. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, indeed.
About re-entering, you know, or your sister or your brother, or your Uncle JoJo or whoever it is, or the neighbor, you know, or whatever. Yeah, this is it's we can't put this under the rug anymore, y'all. Like, we got to address addictions. We got to address, you know, the people that are going to jail and those who are coming out. We got to address everything that's going on right now in order to rebuild our country because 2020 was a humdinger for a lot of people, you know.
Look, you said a mouthful. That's what it is. Yes, indeed. Because and the thing about it is, like you said. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. No.
Patricia.
Turn the song.
No, I was saying like you were saying, some of these organizations come buy the book and give it to people that your clients because it's going to help them. You know, and like you said, it's a tax write-off. And then I'm a business. You know, you can order the book straight from me. You don't have to go to Amazon. I can give you a discount on 10, 20 books, 100 books if you want it. You know what I mean? At a different price, and then you could give it to your clients for them to read. Family members who know somebody in prison. You know, you can do it. So you know, and that's the thing about it. You don't have to get it from Amazon if you want to. I'm a business. You can order them right from me. I can get them at a cheaper price for you. Give you a deal and send them right to you. Make sure you get them delivered right to your doorstep. So, you know, these are things that the community needs.
Yeah, I feel like I want to get a couple of these books and take it to. So I'm gonna reach out to you after
yes,
you
indeed.
know after we got the phone within the next week or so I can order a couple of these and take them to the treatment center that I work at. Because I be taking books up there. I take. Remember how you got all the books my mom had?
You see how fast I got y'all that book? Did you see how fast I got y'all that book? You see how fast I got y'all that book?
Yeah.
It can be just like that with numbers. So I wasn't playing when y'all say I'm not playing. I don't. You know, I'm the pull-up man. I'm the pull-up man. I'm the fly man. Wherever it's at, give me the address. I'm gonna pull up because I'm gonna stand behind my word. You know, so
and we support you 100%.
Yeah, we definitely feeling this right here.
Yeah. We,
you know,
because the thing
likewise,
is,
you know,
we like
I'm
to
gonna support you guys too.
We appreciate that. We like to have different types of shows, you know, and we definitely love the shows that are beneficial to others. You know what I'm saying?
Informational for people to gain information, gain some knowledge, and take it back to where, like, you know, back to their tribes. You know what I mean? Like, look, this is what I heard today. Did you hear about this? You know, I heard about this book, you know, Formula for Success, or whoever we have on the shows that we speak to. We just had somebody, Sharifa Hardy. She's actually from Long Beach. You know, a future for a senator. You know, running for the Senate. You know, so to be able
awesome
to,
show,
that was a really great show. Yeah, and to even connect you guys with that, she can see what's going on with that. You know, like, okay, this is what this brother out here is doing. You know, that could be a part of, of an agenda. I know you're doing it, you know, on the grassroots and the way you're pushing out there through the business, but to get out there in a major way, we're going to need all hands on deck to let people know that this is, you know, it's a very major situation that we need to, like, you know, to be addressed for sure.
And that's why God blessed me to be on the Move Unscripted. That's one of the reasons why He blessed me to be on the Move Unscripted, so we can so you guys can help put the word out there and do what it do. You know, show the people show the people that this is how you support black people. This is how you support black businesses. This is how you make your community rise. When you don't hold people behind, hold people back, and you don't hate on people. You gotta be able to lift people. I read something today. I seen on Instagram who said a brother he seen another brother that was he was a person that puts people's TVs on the wall. And so he called the brother and said, well, man, how do you get it so straight? You know what I'm saying? Can you teach me how to do that? So the brother was like, nah, I can not only teach you, but guess what? We're going to partner up, and I'm going to show you we're going to work together. That's what we got to do in the community.
That's
you
the
know
quality.
What I mean?
That's what I definitely
right now,
deal with that, yeah.
You know, right now, it's like, you know, me and a couple of guys, one of my guys, he's from Brownsville, New York. He did 22 years. He got 2 books out. Okay. Another young gentleman out here from L.A., Grit, Grind, and Glory, he did 15 years. You know, we come together as a super group right now. You know what I mean? And we finna push the line nationally and put our books out there and do what we do to help society and our communities grow and understand. Look, between us three, we done did over 60 years in prison, 70 years in prison. But now we out here in the world pushing the line, helping people, educating people, and doing it ourselves. So we're not just talking about it. We're actually doing it, too. We walking the walk along with talking the talk, and we're leading by example, and we're giving people solutions. We ain't just saying, oh, this is the problem, this is the problem, this is the problem. Everybody know the problem, but what you bringing to the table for the solution. Yeah, you know you help screw up the community. You know the role you played, but what are you doing now to try to clean it up and help other people not go through them same pitfalls? People that's coming out of prison like you did, how are you helping them to sustain themselves and get themselves together and re-enter society back in a healthy manner? What are you doing? Now, like I said, I applaud the brothers that do memoirs and all that. That's good because everybody got a story. But who do you know besides Terrall E. Tillman that has a ReEntry Bible that's going to help any and everybody get themselves together, and it's not just about me. That's where I'm at.
Everybody. Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah, look,
it ain't about me. Yeah, it's a story in there. Yeah, it's a story in there, but at the same time, it's a story in there. But at the same time, this ain't just about me. This is about everybody. And the things that I've been through, I'm bringing it to show everybody you can change. I know if I could change, because I was one of the worst of the worst. I was pushing the cold line out here. But now I push the positive line. I push that positive line like I used to push the negative line. And, you know, I tell my son, I just picked him up from school all the time, you'll never hit the streets, boy. Never. I'll never allow that because I know what the streets will do to you. And I know I'll probably be crazy if something happened to you. You know what I'm saying? So the way I do, and, you know, this is fatherhood right now, what I'm doing, picking up my son. We're going to take him, go to the E, take him home. That's fatherhood. That's a part of the reentry journey. Right. Building the bond back with my son that I was in prison more than he was alive. This is a part of that journey, folks. So everybody listening that knows somebody that's been in jail 10, 20, 30 years and they don't know their children, you got to get to know your children. Whether they grown, whether they adolescents, whether they teenagers, you got to get to know your children. You got to do your part as an adult. As an adult, as a responsible, accountable adult to know your children, whether they grown or not. That's your
You
responsibility.
better get out there and nurture your seed. Stop playing around.
All the time.
Your seed.
All the time. You know, and I understand you might not have the money.
That's
and like I said, it's a part of the form of success.
That's
you know,
your seed. That's
all
your
the time. You're gonna be getting blessed.
You're building for the next generations to come.
Exactly.
Come on,
all the time.
This is very necessary.
You know what? And I just want to say this for any of the people, because when you come out, right, everybody's personality is not, hey, what's up? Have you made it? Yeah. You're gonna run into some assholes. But don't let that take you backwards. If you run into someone and they're not being as helpful as they need to be, or they're acting like you're beneath them and all that kind of stuff, you just know that's not the person that God sent for you to get your information from. Find out somebody else that you can get it from. Hang up and call back. You'll get a new operator. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You just or talk to somebody else. Like, listen, me and this person's energy is not working. Can I get a new counselor? Like, don't allow somebody else's bad day or negative, nasty attitude or whatever, because everybody who's in different jobs don't really need to be there. Let's be real about that. So when you run across those people, and it's very likely that you will, do not allow them to set you backwards. You understand that ain't nothing but a giant. So you figure out how to get past that giant, and you keep moving forward. Do not let that be the reason or the excuse that you go, you know what, I'm done, I'm quit, I'm leaving. Or you know what, I'm about to go back out here and get high again or what. Don't let that be your excuse. Don't let that be your excuse.
That's real life right there. I feel that.
Yeah, because every nurse really shouldn't be a daggone nurse. Every doctor shouldn't be a doctor. We know every policeman shouldn't be a policeman. You know, every teacher don't need to teach. So, but you gotta learn how to maneuver past those people to get to the ones who are going to care about your journey. They're going to care about your reentry. They're going to care about you being successful. Pray about it. God will send them. But just don't get discouraged by the wolves, you know, before you get there. You know what I'm saying? I just want to say that because you know, in what we do, you know, there's some workers that you want to punch them in their eye.
Right.
Yeah, you know, and that's the
other chapter, restraint. That's the chapter you put up in. It's called restraint.
And that's that chapter.
Why you didn't help that person? Or why you didn't give them that information? Like you hear
that's that chapter called progressions and setbacks. You know, the progressions and setbacks, and it's very evident that everybody out here is not trying to help people. Like I tell people all the time, everybody's not trying to better themselves. And all of these public servants, some of them shouldn't even be a public servant because they don't want to do nothing for the people. And it ain't even their money. They don't want to work. They lazy. All they got to do is punch some numbers in and do an email. They don't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? And it's so sad. It's very sad that I see it, especially in our own black communities. You know what I mean?
And it's like as if they're like trained to be in that kind of way. Like, you know, instead of like,
but it's their mindset.
Yeah.
Because
and
some
it's bad.
You
know, it's bad.
They never went through nothing, so they don't know how to really handle it. They only, book type stuff. They've never been to jail. They've never had to deal with homelessness. They've never been in shelter. They never had to. They don't even understand. They may not even have it in their family. You don't know, but they just coming for a check.
Yeah.
Those kind of people, you just got to maneuver around because they're in every segment, in every industry, everywhere.
Yeah.
Just don't allow them to be the trigger to send you back to doing 5, 10, 15, 20 more years, or going back to get some dirty something off the street that ends up killing you and all that kind of stuff. Like, keep moving forward.
And that's what I tell the people. I say, look, it's a million programs out here. The program might not be for you because the person that was helping you didn't want to help you. So guess what? Go to another one. You know what I'm saying? If you can't go around that person, that's just something you got to navigate through. You know, and that's why they have a lot of jobs out here now in California called peer navigators and peer specialists, whereas people that have been through it and had the relatability and the experience so they can help the next person to go through it and get their way through it. So, and I did that for 3 years myself. So now I'm a reentry manager. So now I know how to do everything from the bottom to the top. And being somebody that's organized and know how to run a business and know how to run a program, you know, it shows me how who to pick. You know, even with my own business, who I'm gonna employ, who I'm gonna collaborate with, who I'm gonna contract out with.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. As like group, like is there a group thing? Like you have groups? Do you have is it groups that you have, or is there mentors, or is there people that they can once they do have this entry to read this book, there's somebody they can talk to in between? Like
right now, I'm solo bolo, but I have a lot of people that I can employ when the time comes. You know, it's about you have to seek out your staff because you're strong as your staff. You know, and right now I move solo because I'm still trailblazing, and I'm still putting my foundation down to where if I do get a bunch of people that want to take a class, I know how to go facilitate it. I know how to orchestrate getting the place to get facilitated in, and if I need to hire a couple of assistants to do it, I can do that. So things are coming in place for me. You know, the book is definitely a tool that I'm using and an apparatus that I have that nobody has. So, you know, it's like a little golden egg, and I'm just pushing it along. I'm not holding it, and, you know, I'm not hoarding it. I'm putting it out there as much as I can by myself. I don't have, no staff or nothing. So I'm pushing myself, and that's why I'm a super duper network. And then I push, and, I hooked up with you guys, and through you guys, I'm going to hook up with some more other people, and some people might be on this call. I'm going to hook up with them, and I'm going to keep pushing, and it's going to build. We're going to snowball uphill, straight up.
All right.
We're going to snowball uphill, and as it goes, we're just going to keep pushing.
It's so great, actually. You called it, everything's about timing. And so we, Mr. Stout and I are working on something. Actually, it's already in effect, where you'll be able to. We can work with you where you'll be able to have your classes and do stuff online, and they can be anywhere in the world. So we're going to get with you after get off the call to let you know how we can all partner together to help you in your mission and what you're trying to do as far as reach people and stuff. Definitely, we are ATW Media and Printing, Scheme Beast Radio Music. We like a whole bunch of stuff. We got arms and everywhere.
And the thing about it is this: I also have resources. I'm working on a TV show. I got some people that got a TV network that need content. So it's about collaboration. Like I tell everybody, our timing is borrowed. Our time is borrowed, but God's time is perfect. So when God's time comes, it's going to happen for you. Yeah. You just got to stay obedient and do your work. Put your work in and be ready. When it's time to go in the game, you got to have your uniform on, and you better be ready to go in there and do your thing. You know what I mean? If you ain't ready, when it's your opportunity, like you say, preparation, when they meet opportunity, if you ain't prepared right, you're gonna falter. You ain't going to even have a shot. If you ain't got your uniform on, when the coach look over, he got to look somewhere else. You can't go in the game. You ain't ready. So this is an opportunity, and all money ain't good money, and I don't align myself with people just so they throwing some money because I don't care about your money. Money didn't never make me, and it's never going to make me. I make the money. So I'm definitely looking to deal with good people, just like when I had my book published. I had a lot of people that I could have went through, but I wanted somebody that was understand the mission, understand who I am, and come from the same type of tribes that I come from, the same type of struggle. So when I paid them my money for publishing my book, it was another black person. It was another black business that I'm helping establish themselves. You know what I mean? So I could have went to a whole lot of other people that did it, but I wanted somebody that I felt a bond with and I can build with. That's what I'm about. I'm about collectives and collaborations, things of that nature.
Footprints in the sand. I'm so glad that you have left your legacy for, the next generations to come. So once again, tell everybody, the listeners, as we come towards the close of the show, tell them how they can reach out to you, where they can buy the book at, all your social media handles.
Like book readings, anything like that.
Yeah, any book clubs,
Book readings or
give us, this is your time to let everybody know how they can get at you.
Okay, once again, it's available on Amazon Books. Formula for Success, ReEntry -030. Or you can contact me on LinkedIn or Facebook under my real name, Terrall E. Tillman, Terrell Gino Tillman. And I also have Instagram, and I also have TikTok. And those links are FFS, as in Formula for Success, _ ReEntry 030. You can catch me on any one of those platforms, or you can call me directly at 213-866-8156. And I'm going to say that number again, 213-866-8156. And I'm going to give you my email address as well. My email address and the websites as well. One of my websites is called ReEntry-030.com. My other ReEntry site is called Lessons Learned, LessonsLearned.com. Those are my two websites. And my email is reentry030.network@gmail.com. And I'm going to say it again, reentry30.network@gmail.com. You can contact me at any one of those platforms.
We appreciate you so much for coming on. I hope that for all the lights that stayed on throughout the whole show, I hope y'all was writing down this information.
Yeah,
if it's something that it's lit up. I don't even know if people been able to call in because I was going to disconnect everybody because they wasn't talking. But then I said, you know what? Let me just leave them on here because that's the way they wanted to hear it. So I hope that y'all were writing down all that information. Yeah. We appreciate you so much. Yeah. So tell them again.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate everybody that called in. I appreciate you guys so much. I appreciate everybody that called in and stayed on the line, whether you said something or not. Thank you for the support. I am very appreciative, and I appreciate being appreciated, and I appreciate anybody that supported me for what I'm doing. And because I'm not doing it just for myself, it's not just for self, it's to make the world a better place than it was when I found it, and I was doing all that crazy stuff to help tear stuff down, and now I'm trying to help rebuild the situation and be preventative with some people so they don't have to go through the things that I went through. So, and I definitely take my hat off to you guys, Mr. Kenneth Stout and Miss Patricia Goins, for having me on The Move Unscripted. And I definitely want to come back on here another time. So thank you guys so much. Like I tell people all the time, the stars is aligned. We just connecting the dots. And we're going to continue to do it.
Come on now.
I really appreciate you coming on the air. Thank you so much for everybody that called in. Formula for Success, ReEntry 030 by Terrall E. Tillman. Go out there and go get that. It's on Amazon and all of the Kindles and everything you get your books from.
Indeed.
And everything like that.
Yes,
all right.
indeed.
We appreciate you. We definitely appreciate you. And for everyone, please know that we might be back next week. Are we coming back next week?
Yeah, I think so.
We're unscripted, so we tell what we want to. That's the beauty.
Oh, and I want to say one more thing. Can I say one more thing? One more thing.
Yes.
This month, March 25th, actually tomorrow, March the 2nd, we're doing a documentary by a friend of mine, Noreen McClendon. She goes up into the prisons as well. She's an author as well. She does reentry education. And her and Ben Johnson, she's the executive producer of a documentary called First Step. And tomorrow we're going to be in Hollywood premiering that movie. that documentary. And then on the 25th of March, we're going to have the Black Writers on Tour 27th annual event that Miss Rosie Milligan puts on. Dr. Rosie Milligan from L.A., she puts it on every year. This is the 27th annual event. The Black Writers on Tour, I'm going to be there with my booth. My other constituents going to be there, Mr. Joseph P. Langdon, you know, from the stage, from the cage to the stage. You're going to be there. Miss McClendon, Noreen McClendon is going to be there. Mr. Anthony Bomani McDuffie's going to be there. Grit, Grind, and Glory. That's the other three parts to the three-piece special. We're all going to be there. So people pull up. It's a free event. The Black Writers on Tour, and it's going to be in Carson at the Carson Civic Center, and it's a free event. So come on in. You know, I have my books. I have some merch there. You know, so come on in.
Send us that information so we can post that up on our social medias.
Yeah, I definitely will. I will definitely send you guys that information, and I appreciate you guys so much. And like I said, this is the beginning of something big.
Oh, yeah,
yes, definitely. We appreciate you. Thank you for wanting to bring, you know, your hard work and dedication to us, allowing us to be one of the platforms to spread the news about such a awesome accomplishment for one, and then just the fact that what you're doing is so selfless, because really you're doing it to help other people and yourself and your legacy and your generation, but definitely for other people. So we appreciate you. Thank you so very much.
We writing our story. We writing our story, y'all, and our story is gonna turn into history.
We leaving footprints in the sand. This next song I'm about to play, you see, I'm going to play Times Like This. You brought it out at me. So this song, Times Like This, is basically about just that. Leaving, you know, love your fellow man. You know, help each other and leave your digital footprints in the sand. You know, create things that your children and your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren can pass down, that they can benefit from, they'll be blessed by. You know, we're in that season. So if you're not creating, if you have to create mess and you're not creating legacies, you ain't on the right path. We appreciate you so much. And blessings to everything. And we'll be reaching out to you because I do want to get a couple copies to take to the center that I work at. Hey, and we come to LA. Hopefully we get to meet them. Hopefully when we make our trip down to LA, and it's coming.
Oh, y'all gonna see me. Y'all gonna see me. Yes, indeed.
LA is the West is calling our name. LA is calling our name.
Formula for Success, ReEntry 030, Terrall E. Tillman. Thanks for calling us up, brother, man. Right here on The Move Unscripted with Patricia M. Goins and your man, Mr. Stout. We in the building. We love this interview. It was definitely one of the top ones
in the building
this year.
Dope interview.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, March 1st.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys.
No doubt. You're welcome.
Yeah, peace and love to you.
Let's turn up.
Times like this, y'all.
Okay.
Read those digital footprints.
This is